Hello and welcome to Horologique. I am Olivier, and today I wanted to present to you this amazing Saint Martin Hulk. As the thumbnail of the video suggests, I am really impressed by the quality of this watch. So forget about all you think you know about Chinese manufacturing. This takes things to a whole different level. And I heard about the version 1 through a channel called I Like Watches. Great channel, go check it out. And on that channel, the guy in there said that this was actually the best Submariner homage that he had laid hands on. It got me interested, but by that time the V1 was gone and I was expecting this V2 to come. So first, let's talk about the packaging of this watch. And the watch comes in this now typical, I believe, Saint Martin box, which is very solid, I think, and protects the watch during transit. And it just opens like this. Alright. You'll find the warranty card and you will find the user manual. And you'll find a little tag. Saint Martin, those are the links that I removed for this watch to fit me. And the thing that is very nice is that you will find in this little pouch, you will find some sizing tools that are actually very nice quality. I was very much impressed. So this one is a screwdriver to size your bracelet, and it's very big and pretty high quality, I must say. And it allowed me to size the watch very easily. And you get this little strap removing tool. It's much higher quality than the set that I have and bought specifically, so I believe I'll be using these from now on. So let's first talk dimensions, and we all know that this pretty much follows the dimensions of the original Hulk Submariner, but to be a bit cynical, let's just measure that. You never know with these watches. And yeah, as you can see, bang on 40 in diameter, 12.5 in height, yeah, a bit over 47 in lug to lug. The bracelet tapers then from a 20 to a 16 and then back up to 19 at the clasp. And as you can see, the dial is a sunburst dial with applied numerals, and the hands are Mercedes hands that you will pretty much find, of course, the original and in all of the homages of this watch. The printing is pretty well done. I don't think it's anything exceptional, but it's acceptable. And the sunburst pattern is very good, as you can see. It plays with the light, but you would pretty much expect that, so that's not a big deal. Let's talk about the Cyclops. And the Cyclops is centered, so that is a very good news. Okay, and the dial is pretty clean. So you get a Saint Martin text on the top, automatic, just automatic 200 meters at the bottom of the dial, no misalignments on the dial. Of course you have a sapphire crystal and a sapphire Cyclops, and none of them have anti-reflective coating. We will get a Lume shot of this watch later on, and I will show you that the Lume is pretty impressive. Now let's go to the bezel insert, and this is of course sapphire, and let me tell you that it's very well done. To the naked eye, I cannot see any fault in this bezel. And now something that is very important and that tells a lot about the quality of these watches is a rotating bezel. And the rotating bezel here is just very secure, with no backplay actually, and it's very pleasing to turn. It is very precise. It's a pleasure to turn. It's easy, but it offers just the right amount of resistance. And I am happy to report that the pip aligns perfectly with the 12 o'clock marker and with all the rest of the watch. Everything in here is perfectly aligned. Alright, let's go to the case. And the case is your typical Submariner case with brushing on the top of the lugs and polished sides. So nothing really special there. The polishing is of pretty high quality, and so is the brushing. So case perfectly adequate, solid. The crown sadly is not signed, and that is quite a pity because on the V1 you had the Saint Martin shark in there, which was very nice. And let's go to the bracelet. And the bracelet is your typical oyster bracelet, of course, what else it's gonna be, and it's fully brushed. And that is a plus from the first version, which was polished in the centers. I know that a lot of people complained about that. Another thing that has changed from the first version is the clasp. And in the first version you had a clasp that mimicked the Submariner clasp, and that is all good and well, but now you have these kind of more typical clasp, but I believe that it's really good. It's all solid. We have the Saint Martin logo etched in there. You have this security lock, and then you have a double push mechanism, and everything in here is milled. Everything in the clasp is milled and solid as well. And you have 6 levels of micro adjustment, which is wonderful. And the feeling is a feeling of security and quality with this clasp and with the bracelet. Of course, I forgot to mention that you have solid links, of course solid end links, and screw pins. But that is pretty obvious. Just to let you know that in the back you've got a sterile back, pretty much like the original Submariner. Okay, let's talk movement. And inside this watch you've got the ubiquitous Seiko NH35, so 24 joules, 40 hours of power reserve, Hax hand winds, and it's tough and reliable. It's no wonder why all these micro brands and so many other brands use this movement. We'll see the accuracy report later, but that is not all that I wanted to say. The main thing here is that this watch feels so solid, is so well made. Look at the bracelet. The bracelet just barely moves, and you have a feeling of quality with this watch. It's pretty impressive. You really have to see it and feel it in your hands to understand it. But I can assure you that this thing feels solid like a tank. And as you can see, the accuracy of this NH35 is just wonderful. And as you can see, of course the monster with that Lume bright is brighter, but the BGW9 on the Saint Martin to the right is amazing as well. Really bright, much better than what I expected in any case. And here I will compare it to my Bersigar Hulk. And as you can see, there's absolutely no contest here. The Saint Martin takes this one easily. I think I am so impressed with this timepiece because the QC is very good, the lume is amazing, the movement is performing wonderfully, but I think it's the most subjective qualities. The construction just feels so solid. It's amazing when you hold this watch to believe that it costs less than 200 euros. I paid 190, but I believe that it's worth every penny of those 190 euros that I paid. I previously made a review of the Bersigar, or Pagani Design, which is the same company, Submariner, which is, of course, it is 75, 80 euros, up to 100, and this is 2.5 times more expensive. Do I believe it is worth it? Totally. The Bersigar is a wonderful watch for 100 and less. The bang per buck here is just amazing when you take into account the quality of what you get, the quality of the brushing, the QC. There is no faults in QC here. There is no misalignments. In any case, for 190 euros, I am extremely impressed. I will continue wearing this watch, of course, and if there is some interest, I will make a full review with macro shots, with all the bells and whistles. But I wanted to share to you and get the word out about this watch and the quality that you get for the money. Of course, you have to be okay with homage watches, and I know that some people are not at all. So thank you so much for having watched the video. Don't forget to like if you find it interesting and to subscribe to the channel to see more content coming. I have many more watches coming. I have the review of my newest original, let me get that clear, Omega Seamaster, and the review is going to be next week on the channel. And thank you so much for having watched, and I'll be seeing you very soon on the next one. Goodbye.